The story of the WOW signal is a cornerstone of modern astronomical mystery, a tale that begins not with a flashing light in the sky, but with the quiet hum of a machine and the methodical rustle of paper. It was the summer of 1977, and at the Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Telescope, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, was a patient, grinding endeavor. The Big Ear was a colossal instrument, but it was not nimble. It was a fixed telescope that relied on the Earth's own rotation to slowly scan the heavens. Its observations were not displayed on glowing screens but were printed out on long, continuous sheets of paper, a log of alphanumeric characters where each letter and number represented the intensity of the radio noise captured from deep space. It was a search for a proverbial needle in a cosmic haystack, a single line of code that stood out from the constant, natural hiss of the universe. On the evening of August 15th, the telescope was dutifully recording this data as it focused on a patch of sky in the constellation Sagittarius. The system was listening on a specific frequency, 1420 MHz, which is the resonant frequency emitted by neutral hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. Scientists like Frank Drake and Carl Sagan had long proposed this as a logical, universal watering hole, a frequency any technologically advanced civilization might use to broadcast its existence, as it represents a fundamental landmark on the radio dial of the cosmos. 3 days later, on August 18th, a project volunteer named Jerry Ehman was performing the tedious but crucial task of reviewing these reams of data. As his eyes scanned the columns of numbers and letters, a sequence of 6 characters on the printout for Channel 2 leapt out at him. 6EQUJ5. The progression was staggering. It started at a level of 6, shot up to a value 30 times stronger than the background cosmic noise, and then faded to J5. This was an eruption of energy of a magnitude the telescope almost never witnessed. Stunned, Ehman grabbed his red pen, circled the anomalous sequence, and beside it, wrote a single, heartfelt word that would forever baptize the event. Wow! The signal's characteristics were what made it so compelling and so perfectly aligned with what theorists predicted an artificial, interstellar signal would look like. First was its intensity. It was not a whisper, but a shout. Second was its precise frequency. It was a narrowband signal, meaning it was concentrated on one specific spot on the radio spectrum, much like a walkie-talkie or radio station, and unlike the broad, messy emissions given off by natural cosmic phenomena like quasars or pulsars. The frequency of 1420 MHz made it even more tantalizing. But the third, and perhaps most crucial characteristic, was its duration. The signal lasted for exactly 72 seconds. This was not a random number. It was the precise amount of time a fixed point in the sky would pass through the Big Ear's stationary, funnel-shaped focus. The signal rose in intensity as it entered the telescope's field of view, peaked at the center, and then faded away perfectly as it exited. This perfect bell curve was the unmistakable signature of a celestial source. All evidence pointed to something from beyond our world. In the wake of the discovery, a frantic effort was launched to find it again. The Big Ear itself was pointed back at the same coordinates for months. Other observatories around the world were alerted and trained their dishes on that lonely spot near the star cluster Chi Sagittarii. They listened for hundreds, then thousands of hours. But the silence was absolute. The signal never repeated. It was a one-time event, a cosmic cry that lasted for just over a minute and then vanished into the eternal quiet. This singular nature is the heart of the enduring mystery and has fueled decades of scientific debate. If it was real, why did we only hear it once? Explanations have ranged from the profoundly exciting to the mundanely practical. Perhaps it was a targeted beacon from an advanced civilization, pointed directly at us for a brief moment and then shut off or swiveled away. Perhaps it was the passage of a deep space probe or a vessel, its transmission briefly sweeping over our planet. The more skeptical hypotheses suggest a terrestrial origin, a reflected signal from a piece of space debris or a secret military satellite. However, no such satellite was known to be in that position, and the 1420 MHz band is internationally protected for astronomy, making unauthorized transmission there highly unlikely. To this day, no conventional explanation has managed to fully account for all of the signal's unique parameters, its intensity, its frequency, its perfect 72-second duration, and its specific location. The legacy of the WOW signal is therefore not one of answer, but of question. It remains, over 4 decades later, the most compelling and famous candidate in the entire history of SETI. It is a ghost in the ether, a siren's call that was heard once and then never again. It serves as a powerful reminder of the immensity of the universe and the limitations of our own perception. We are, as Carl Sagan would say, like sailors on a shore, barely able to comprehend the vast and mysterious ocean before us. The WOW signal was a wave that crashed on our beach, carrying with it a message we could not decipher, from a shore we cannot see. It taught astronomers the need for patience and continuous, synchronized monitoring of the skies. More importantly, it cemented in the public imagination the thrilling possibility that we are not alone, that the cosmos might not be a silent, empty void. It is a testament to the power of a single, enigmatic data point to inspire generations of wonder, debate, and a relentless pursuit of one of humanity's oldest questions. Is there someone out there who, for one brilliant moment in 1977, tried to say hello?